Hi, this is Bobby Curnow, Chief Turtle Editor at IDW Publishing, and you are going to have a shell of a good time inside the pull bag.
Sewer Surfin September continues here inside the pull bag with episode 152. Hello everyone, I am one of your hosts, TFU and Mike. Joining me is my totally tubular turtle TMNT cohort, Joe Reed. Hello, sir.
Hello.
This is the second week in September, and today we're going to be talking about 4 comics, issues 67 to 70 of the IDW Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles comic series, the main ongoing. This is the Desperate Measures arc of the series. At the end of this, we will be 4 issues away from IDW breaking the all-time record of issue numbers.
Da-da-da!
IDW will be the longest-running TMNT series ever.
Yeah, there is somebody put together a Kickstarter for Jim Lawson to do a variant cover. That ended a while ago now, but I think they should be shipping any time now. But that's the thing I'm really excited about with 73. They made it, and they went to Jim to get a comic cover done. It's long overdue to see him on an IDW book in some form.
And at the end of this episode, we will be going through the solicitations for, I think I've got solicitations for 71 through 74, I think.
Sweet. And where does the Free Comic Book Day fit in? Because I think that should be happening somewhere. It's another really well done recap issue. They do introduce some exciting stuff, though.
Free Comic Day. You would have to ask me that, wouldn't you?
Yep. I thought you'd know, Mike.
Well,
I have it, if it helps, I have it between issue 69 and 70 when I pulled it out of the long box to do this.
Okay.
But I may have just thrown it in there all random.
Good question.
Well, okay, here we go. I'm gonna skip ahead and to the back of 69 and see what it says.
I think the Free Comic Day issue leads up to Dimension X, which Dimension X just started. Well, Dimension X started a few months ago. Dimension X was Dimension X was the 5-week event in August of this year.
Yep.
So it was right. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm opening issue 70 now to find the back cover because it'll tell me what I need to read next.
Yeah. But yeah, we are here to talk about issues 67 to 70. As I said, Desperate Measures arc. And we get the Mutanimals versus Agent Bishop.
Which I'm waiting for them to really kind of explain more about Agent Bishop. He comes from the 2003 cartoon series, right?
Yes.
And I think in that series, we don't know what's going to happen here, but I think he was an Utrom of some sort, wasn't he?
I would have to go back and watch. I've only done one episode of our cartoon podcast, Tooncast Beyond, talking the first season of that series. I have not. I have plans for you and I eventually to watch season 2, 3, and however many other seasons that show had. But I just know Agent Bishop is there. He is a part of. I don't remember off the top of my head if he is a Utrom, but I do know he was one of the people helping the Utrom race. He was one of their agents.
Yeah, because they were good guys in that series, except for Krang
Shredder.
And the Shredder Utrom, Chirel.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we got let's see here. We got Kevin Eastman, Bobby Curnow, Tom Waltz on story. Tom is on script. Mateus Santaluco is back on art. Rhonda Pattison on colors. Sean Lee on letters. Sean Lee and Chris Mowry on letters. Bobby Curnow, obviously editor, and Ted Adams, publisher for IDW. We open issue 67 with Slash reading The Grapes of Wrath.
I read that book recently.
Did you really?
Yeah, and I still can't figure out why it's called The Grapes of Wrath. Like, I know there's a metaphorical, symbolic reason that it's called that, but yeah, that's okay. It was a great book. It was fun. Lots of good. Well, as good as kind of a sad story like that can be, but it's
Yep.
I like some Steinbeck.
Yep, Steinbeck is awesome. My question here in the opening is, how does Slash talk to pigeons? They just don't. And Lindsay was the one that loaned Slash the Grapes of Wrath book, and very, very cool. So we open up with this, and Slash continues to read, and suddenly he gets attacked, and tells Jimmy to fly, we're falling, fly away. Man, Santaluco's art here with this fall.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
I love. I think the first time that I really remember seeing Slash in this series, it was Santaluco doing it, and big, vicious, evil. And in this scene here, where he's reading and talking to his pigeons in a Mike Tyson like kind of way, his features are so much softer. Like you can, it's you can. It's reflected. His state of mind is reflected in how he's drawn. I appreciate that attention.
Absolutely.
But the building was brought down on top of him by these Blackwater guys.
Yep.
Who we've seen a couple times. Slash lifts himself out of the rubble of this collapsed building and is trank darted by these dudes who promptly take him captive.
Yeah, that's not good. Poor Slash. His whole arc here, it's so heartbreaking. Between
him and Leatherhead from the 2012 series, it's like these are characters that you just wish could catch a break. Like, please, yes, just let the world needs to stop pooping on them and let them read their John Steinbeck in peace.
Yep. So Agent Bishop comes in and mentions the TCRI fiasco, which happened over in TMNT Universe, which we'll be getting to after this podcast episode comes out. And Agent Bishop is nothing but a jackass.
Yeah, we will find out about him, I think. We'll get some ideas soon.
Yep. So Pigeon Pete, well, actually no, Jimmy flies away, and we go to the turtles in their lair, and all right,
they are restless, they are directionless, they are not at ease with their current situation. So they're fresh off of leaving Splinter and the Foot Clan.
Yep.
For everything that's gone on, and they're chilling in the base. And there's just a lot of tension when they should actually be able to chill and organize.
Because there's a lot of tension because they don't know what they're going to be doing next, and of course Leo being the planner and all that, and he's frustrated, and Mikey's just laying there on the couch reading The Dark Knight Returns. I'd like to think that's the Dark Knight. It's blue, damn it! It's not the actual. It's not the actual cover to that masterpiece, but it's similar. So we got Raph on the phone with Angel, and Angel was saying that Alapex is doing better every day, so. There's that.
I didn't catch that.
Yep. Leo says, I'm so glad to hear she's on the mend. It'll be great to have her and Angel back in the fight, and the sooner the better. Raph's like, wait, what? These two panels here where Raph says, wait, what? And then he says, what fight are you talking about exactly? Seems like things are all pretty chill right now. Why is it that I believe that Raph is using his bandana as a do-rag?
Yeah, I think that's
just look at those images. Yeah. I don't know, there's anything wrong with that, but it's just one of those things where it's like, wow, that's hilarious.
There's the conflict that's going on. Donnie's withdrawing into machines. Mikey's got his nose stuck in books. Raph, this is weird for me. Raph wants to be chilling and sitting back and kind of withdrawing from the conflict for a while.
Yeah.
That's not like him, especially since Mike wants to go and be a superhero. Raph thinks that's a dumb idea, but Raph was the one in the CG movie who became a superhero so he could do street crime instead of sitting around and doing nothing. It's like this is so I don't know. I'm having a interesting feelings about what Raph is doing here, choosing to no, let's hide in the corner and wait for something.
Yeah, that's a little strange.
But Leo, and then his frustration is that he's trying to lead these guys, trying to get them prepared for all of the dangers, which Leo checks off. The Pantheon, the Utroms, the government forces, Leatherhead. Because I think last time we saw Leatherhead, he was swimming away.
Yeah, we haven't seen Leatherhead since issue 58 of the comics, so
yep.
We don't know what Leatherhead's up to or what's going on with him. And Leo has never been the personality of the Turtles that feels defeated. But because Master Splinter is on the path that he's on, and because technically they all used to be human. I mean, I know they got reincarnated into these, animals and things, but it's like, Leo is not Master Splinter. Leo does lead, and he will, but he needs a guiding hand or at least a point in the right direction before he can take action, because look how different all four of their personalities are. Mikey, like you said, Mikey wants to be a superhero. Raph just wants to, sit back and do nothing, and Donnie wants to dive further into the machines, and Leo just has no idea what to do with that. So we go to the Earth faction force or whatever it is, and Agent Bishop has Slash in this.
Tank.
Okay. I was going to say it was a sensory deprivation tank, but okay. Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, there's glass around it. It's they can see through it. They're hooking him up. Bishop's got a scientist who's poking and prodding and says he's exposed him to some, or not exposed, he's done some analysis of his brain and discovers there's telltale signs of this post-traumatic stress. Mm-hmm. The ultimate discovery that this doctor makes is that through the post-traumatic stress, he can target this part of his brain and turn it on and off. We all know that Slash does that rage thing. He can go from talking to raging Hulk monster, and this doctor figures out how to turn it on and off. Bishop says, can we use this? The doctor says, yeah, we can probably even control him, steer him, pilot him almost. And so that doctor gets to work on that, which is scary. Weapon like that in anybody's hands. It's just...
All I can think of is the doctor... You've seen Varsity Blues, right?
Nope.
God, you're not going to get this.
If I said that to my wife, I think she'd be like, F that, Joe! You're either going to get a divorce or we're driving to the video store to rent...
It's a good thing that I'm not your wife. And who really goes to the... Are there any video stores around anymore? I don't think so. Anyway,
we've got some there. They're good.
Varsity Blues was a 1998 MTV Films thing about West Canaan, Texas, and high school football. It had
that dude. I can picture his face.
Dawson,
yeah.
James Vanderbeek as one of the main characters. Paul Walker was in it as one of the other main characters, and you had Ron Lester in it as Billy Bob, the big old football player that was number 69. And in this, close to the end of it, we come to find out John Voight, who was the coach, was basically, putting his players on the field injured. He would give them an injection of whatever the hell, whether it's probably steroids, I don't know, whatever. So anyway, my point here is this doctor that's telling Bishop that they can control Slash, I see this Doctor as the John Voight character from that movie, and I see Slash as the Billy Bob character from that movie, because at the end of that, Billy Bob is like, they're gonna inject somebody else, and Billy Bob breaks in and says, "That needle goes anywhere near Wendell's leg, I'm gonna rip your arms and legs off and beat you to death with them." Yeah. Anyway. So yeah, they're looking at the brain activity. They're looking into controlling Slash and moving him like an Egyptian. And oh God, how the hell did I come up with a Bengals reference for this podcast? Good Lord! Talk about an eternal flame. All right, so that's what's going on there, and we get back to I gotta say Santaluco's final look at Slash here at first, where the Doctor says, all it takes is a minor increase in the wattage input and output, and you have a biological weapon you desire. The image of Slash here. Oh, so heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Damn it. Just...
There's some nice coloring going on by Rhonda in that that panel as well.
Well, yeah, because it's full close up inside the little tank thing he's in, and it's all these wires and things, and I mean his eyes are all red and bulgy, and I don't think turtles can get drunk, but okay. Sorry. I gotta try to find a way to make this funny, because otherwise it's just really, really depressing seeing what they're doing to Slash. The head Blackwater guy, or Darkwater, or whatever it's called, he says, "Look, I'm sure the Doc's reputation is rock solid, Agent Bishop, but I'm not sure how I feel about staking my troops' lives against it." So they have a discussion. We get back to Leo, who is actually at the Foot headquarters.
Yeah, he had walked out of the
lair.
Walked out of that little debate. Yeah, they were having in the lair, and went to Master Splinter to seek counsel, which goes back to what you said. Like, Leo he's not ready yet to do this by himself in that way. He needs that not really. He is the leader. He needs the master ahead of him still.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like he's out in the woods meditating and then he runs in on, War and Peace. So he sees Master Splinter. He asks how Jenny is doing, Jenica. She is young, but she will make a fine Chunin in time, just as you did, Leonardo. And they have the conversation, and we see that Leo is very rare to see Leo like this. Very rare in any incarnation of him. Which I think is why this incarnation is the most interesting, because they are giving him character beats that no other medium could at this point in time.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's the benefit of going for as many issues as they've had, is that we've gotten a chance to explore all of these character development things. We have seen Leo unsure of himself. We have seen Leo doubt himself. We've seen him be a new leader and become more experienced, like in the Nick cartoon. But this is Leo frustrated. This is Leo angry.
Yeah.
Leo in the CG movie, he went away to become a better leader, but it was out of feelings of inadequacy that he couldn't do it, that he couldn't pull it off. This is frustration. This is pretty new. So,
and again, because all four of them have such different personalities, and again with this series, why I think it makes it more compelling is that, again, they technically all are family. Every other incarnation, yes, they're family, but most incarnations they were mutated by Shredder or something. We've never, until IDW, we've never had a reincarnated turtle story. I don't think. You can correct me if I'm wrong there.
Not where they were. Nope.
I'm pretty sure
they've never been actually family.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've never had it to where Hamato Yoshi was their biological father. They were all human.
Mm-hmm.
Tang Shen was the mother, all of that. And this is why Leo in this series, as you said, he's frustrated because dealing with the personalities of himself and his three brothers to try to get everybody to, get along and agree on a plan. And he's so used to having Splinter there to...
Mm-hmm.
Leo can say, oh, well, I have this idea, I have that idea, we could try this, we could try that. Well, it's usually Splinter the one that's saying, well, my son, this would work this way. That it's him guiding him. Essentially, Leo's trying to ride a bike after his dad let go. And
mm-hmm.
he's not falling off yet, but he's getting... The frustration of it is almost making him fall off of his bike.
Yeah, he's in a position where, without Splinter there, he needs to be the father, and none of them are going to take him seriously like that. And I don't think Leo thinks he could act like the father, but that's the role that they're missing.
Yeah. And they even say, when he gets back to them eventually, not now in this issue, but when he goes back to the lair, they even say, okay, well, if you have a plan, we'll follow you. And, and Raph says something about, but there's no way in hell I'm calling you master or whatever it is. And they shouldn't, because he's their brother. He's not, Splinter will always be their master. Mm-hmm. Splinter will always be their father. Leo, unless, which, if they ever do this, I will fly to San Diego and... Unless they ever kill Splinter, just gone, Leo will not have to step up into the father figure role.
I want more of our future Turtles, I think. It's hard for me with Leo. Leo's always been my favorite character. I've always loved the generic Boy Scout leader character that nobody else likes. And it's because I know that what Leo earns being a teenage leader of this team, it earns him this master role in the future, the wise sage. I'm picturing old 90-year-old Leo with a beard in a cave meditating 3 inches off the ground because he can. I picture that Leo's going to get there someday because Master Splinter's kind of there. And I want to see the Ninja Turtles story where Leo is in the martial arts movie and he's stroking the 3 strands of beard under his chin, teaching the new guy and beating the snot out of him like the tough old grizzled Asian guy in all of the martial arts movies. That's Leo's role eventually, and this is how it starts. And he's going through the bumps and bruises of how do you get people to take you seriously when they have no need to take you seriously. And see, I'm patting my NECA Leo on the head next to me here. That's what I don't.
Yep. And we get back to the Mutanimals, who are all, sitting down watching a movie, which I think that's cool.
I love they seem even more connected as a family than the Turtles do. The Turtles have strife, and maybe the Mutanimals have strife, but no, that's adorable. They're all sitting together. They made food for each other.
They're waiting on the pizza guy.
Man.
Never pay full price for late pizza.
I'm waiting to say that to somebody someday, but I'm too nice. I couldn't do that.
Well, you say it in a funny way. You don't have to say it,
And actually, I could pay him, instead of pretending not to. Yeah. Come on, I couldn't find the place.
You're standing on it, dude. Just slip it down here. This is a 10. The time's 13. You're 2 minutes late, dude. So Jimmy comes flying in and is cooing all hell to Pete. And, we have a knock at the door, and Hob tells Mondo to go check the door and get the pizza.
He seems awfully excited to open a door, even though he's a mutant gecko. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. As long as they don't like pineapple on their pizza, I'll be fine. Because that's just evil and disgusting, and no. So, holy guacamole, Slash Man, come on in, amigo. And Slash is not exactly himself. And I love the juxtaposition of this, of Slash coming in and Jimmy telling Pete that they took the guys had taken Slash and whatever else. And Slash sees red, and we have a violent scene because they turn up the thing, and Slash just goes off. This breaks my heart. So Slash is going off on these guys. He hits Old Hob. He grabs Mondo by the tail and rips his tail off. Oh God, this just hurts my heart so much.
It didn't hurt me nearly as much until Slash used the tail to beat Man Ray off. Just smacks him with it.
Yeah. Well, I didn't really... I knew that had happened, but I didn't really notice it. It didn't affect me. I mean, it affected me, but it didn't... Like, when I was... Again, as I've said in these podcasts before, for as long as we've been doing this, when I'm reading these, I read for the story points, the word balloons, the text, all of that. And I do notice the action shots and the art and things like that, but... when we're going back and discussing it, I notice it more than I normally do when I'm trying to read the comic to get the story. And where my heart sank into my stomach here was at the end, after they trank Lindsay and everybody comes in, and Agent Bishop kind of turns Slash off, and we see, various rooms. It wasn't until the room where it's Man Ray and Herman and Mondo, and I saw that Mondo's I was like, oh no, this is just so heartbreaking. But of course, they got 7 of the 8 mutant animals, and of course, Old Hob was the 8th one that got away.
Yeah, that last panel of him kind of looking gobsmacked from the roof across the way is...
Yes.
Old Hob, he's still the character that they created for this series. That I remember when they announced that Eastman was creating a new villain, I'm like, no, don't do that. But he very quickly became super, super interesting and somebody that I cared about. And even here, he's their Splinter. He's their father in a weird way. And he's appalled at what happened to his comrades, his friends. I don't think he'd ever call them his friends to their face, but he cares about them.
Yeah, absolutely. Abso-friggin-lutely. 67, good starting point, I think, for this arc. Interesting to see where the Turtles are, where kind of Master Splinter is a little bit, since we saw a little bit of him. And, as well as where the Mutanimals are. So, absolutely loved it. What were your overall thoughts for 67 here?
I love going through these, a second time from the first time that I read them. So you catch all those little things, and it makes so much more sense. So I really appreciate this issue for this setup. It's something that Waltz has always done so well in the script, is giving us the moments of the pre-tension and letting it linger and letting us see where these people are. So very, very well done.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. What would you give issue 67, 0 to 5?
I'd consistent number 5, pretty much. I think. I think we're gonna be floating there for this whole series.
Yeah, probably. Issue 68. On the main cover, it's Man Ray and Pete. That's one thing I love about these main covers. They're all some sort of collage and whatever with the various Mutanimal characters on them. And in the upper right-hand corner, just below the TMNT IDW logo, the letters, is like a target thing for the Earth Force Protect, whatever the hell they're called, Bishop's people. So we start this one with some turtle training. Part horse's mane, White crane spreads wings. Brush knees, twist step. Hold that thought for a second. Raph, what the... Dang it, girl, how many times I gotta tell you, that ain't a tub.
I like that they every once in a while reference the fact that the turtles live in the sewer, like the Usagi episode of the 2012 series, in 2017. The Pugtaro references that they smell funny. What does that mean? Well, we live in a sewer, dude. And like, yeah, you guys live with feces everywhere. You would reek in that unfortunate way. So I think that the fact that, yes, Pepperoni was swimming in the sewer water.
Yeah. Oh, Pepperoni, you reek. Now I'm going to have to give you a second bath. Actually, it'll be your third, Raph, because she already took number 2 bath. Number 2. Get it? Mikey, I swear, in the land of bad puns, yours would be royalty. Yeah, I'm the king. I can't tell if I would prefer Greg Sipes or OG Townsend Coleman as Mikey. And it depends on what he's doing. It depends on what kind of jokes he's making. I would really see Townsend being more serious. Like, way back in issue like 51, 52, when Mikey walked away from everything, you know, I could see Townsend doing a serious version of Mikey. I don't think I could hear in my head Greg Sipes doing a serious version of Mikey.
Yeah, I don't like the Greg Sipes version of Mikey. I love him as the character from that show, and there are brilliant, wonderful episodes with that version of Mikey, but that's not my favorite version of Mikey. IDW's got it kind of nailed as the guy. He's not an idiot. He's sensitive, and he does like to have fun, but he's not a child in a teenager's body, and that's it'd be hard for Sipes to take that the energy in his voice to that level, this kind of more sensitive level. It'd be interesting to hear him try, because he's wonderfully talented and could probably surprise me, but I don't know who. I'm thinking of all the Mikey voices that we've had, who would do the best at this? You know,
maybe Robbie Rist. Maybe
the dude. I don't know who it was, but the guy who did the TMNT movie, the CG movie, the original CG movie, not the crappy ones.
You mean the 2007 movie?
Yeah.
I don't know who did it there, but Wayne Grayson did it in the 2003 cartoon series. I could see that. I could see Wayne Grayson. I could probably hear him doing this Mikey stuff here. I don't remember who did him in the 2007 TMNT movie. It might have been Wayne, but I don't think so.
No. It was similar, but in a higher register.
Yeah.
Though the 2003 series, that Mikey always felt like he was forcing his voice through an aluminum screen door. Like it was always just like trying to push a block of Play-Doh through there's so much effort and energy into that voice.
Yeah. Yep. So far here, what are you thinking for the story?
Well, it looks like Leo's got the turtles back under him, but that they're on board with him. They're actually training, so that's an impressive feat that happened off screen between those two issues.
Yeah. It was Mikey Kelly as Michelangelo in the 2007 film.
Do you know who that guy was?
No.
Okay.
He did a voice in Extreme Ghostbusters. He was Steven in Godzilla the series in 2000. He was Nick in Static Shock. He was... I'm looking for more. He's a voice in Ben 10. He was in an episode of King of the Hill. He was... he was in Mariah Carey's Merriest Christmas as the announcer 2 years ago. I don't know.
He did a really good job. It was a good Mikey. I can remember the line. He says, "Oh man, did anybody get the number of that truck that hit us last night? And it looked like your mom, dude." Yeah, Mikey, that would make him your mom too. Or well, I can't remember. It was the monster, not a truck. But either way, you get the idea, everybody.
He's doing he did 2 episodes of the 27 the new Transformers Robots in Disguise. Oh. He was Heat Seeker in that. So there's that. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and listen to Wayne Grayson as Mikey from TMNT 2003. I liked him in that series. Mm-hmm. I liked Wayne, and the crazy thing for me is, over the summer I went back, and I know we're completely off topic of the comic here, folks, but I'll bring it back around here in a second. I went back and I watched all of the original 2000 Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters cartoon with Yugi and Joey and Taya and Kaiba and all that stuff. And Wayne Grayson, I believe, is the voice of Joey Wheeler in that series. I'm like, oh yeah, that kind of does fit. So, I would have to go do a voice compare on BehindTheVoiceActors.com to see which Mikey's voice. I think Townsend could pull it off. Like I said, maybe Wayne Grayson, I don't know. But like you said, Mikey is the super sensitive one. He's the one that is always feeling with his heart.
Yep.
Where Donnie and Leo are more logical. Mikey feels with his heart, and Raph just is, most of the time, he's angry. Unless he's, dealing with Pepperoni as pet, or unless he's with his fox there. So...
yeah, Raph just reacts like a raw nerve, and that's what Raph does. That's his thing.
Yeah, that's his thing.
So the turtles are training. Pepperoni swims in some sewage, and all of a sudden, Old Hob walks in.
Yeah. You think that's harsh? You ain't seen nothing yet. And I don't know how you got in here, you mangy furball, but I'm gonna make sure you go back out the hard way. Raph, wait! This reminds me of, obviously, Raph is not injured here, but it really does. Seeing this panel with Raph and Leo, it reminds me of the movie when Raph finally stands up and Leo's like, I'm sorry. He's like, Leo, and then of course Donnie comes in. Oh, it's a Kodak moment. But yeah, no, I've always loved Raph and Old Hobbs kind of animosity towards each other.
Mm-hmm.
And, Old Hob lays down his gun. He just wants to talk, and Raph still wants to fight. And Leo's like, let him talk. So he tells them what's going on with the mutanimals and all of that. We get, we get him, talking about bishop soldiers and all that. And we cut to the other 3 turtles. Donnie's like, soldiers. Mikey's like, do you think? All Raph can say is his classic 90s movie line. Damn! Obviously he doesn't scream it, but, damn.
And Old Hobbs says this thing that keeps coming up with the turtles, like, man, trouble follows you around. You already know what I'm talking about, don't you? Because, they had this experience in Universe 1 through 3, 1 through 4.
1 through 4.
Yep. So,
absolutely.
Flash over to the Earth Defense Force headquarters, and they've got the, finally 4 of the mutanimals that they had captured strapped to the wall, pinned up there. They're investigating what they can do with them.
Yeah. And the sad thing is, all I can think of is Tito, if this is torture, chain me to the wall. Oh, God. Oh my God, if you think about it, the mutanimals are Oliver and Company. I don't know which one of them would be Oliver, but Old Hob is definitely Master Fagin there.
I'd have to see that again. I don't think I've seen that since I was a kid.
Oh my god. That would be a good movie to show Oliver.
Yeah, no kidding, since it has his namesake in it.
Mm-hmm. And it's a Disney version of Oliver Twist. And I mean, plus it's got, it's got Billy Joel as the Artful Dodger, and it's got Bette Midler as Georgette, the stuck-up poodle. And anyway, so Wesley, the leader of the Darkwater, Blackwater, whatever they're called, is hanging up with his wife, and he and Bishop are going to get to work on these mutanimals. The doctor is there, and when he goes over to Mondo, Bishop says, "Yes, well, speaking of where the sun don't shine, it appears our gecko friend here is regaining the tail it lost during the extraction operation." Dude, watch the cold hands. Yep.
Oh, I see. So we've got the 4 mutanimals picked up. I was thinking, like, what happened to Seymour and Herman? And while Herman's crab got ripped, his crab claw got ripped off in the struggle back at the apartment. So they're working on that, probably building him some new bionic thing.
Yep.
They've been scanning these guys, looking for potential ways to use them, like they're using Slash. And Man Ray's a genius. This one's regenerating. Sally's she's a combatant and tough and spunky, and this pigeon, what do they say here? We haven't been able to pinpoint any significant cerebral activity in the pigeon, trauma based or otherwise. We're still looking, sir.
Yeah. And
I hope Pigeon Pete manages someday to step up and do something incredible, or that he does have some kind of underlying value beyond being entertaining.
I see, and I could be wrong, and probably am. I see Pigeon Pete as always the distraction. I don't see Pete getting, I don't see some ancient prophecy infusing him with, ninja powers and going through Beverly Hills like Chris Farley did as the Beverly Hills Ninja. I just don't see that.
No.
But yeah, hopefully Pete does get... what I would love to see, and I assume, we've done so many of these. Was Pete just a regular pigeon that got hit by the mutagen?
I can't...
I don't remember.
I remember in the cartoon, they meet him for the first time, and he has something they want, and he says, "Yeah, I want bread," or was it the comic? Either way, and
it was the
by
comic.
Bread, do you mean money or actual bread? Actual bread.
Yeah, that was the comic, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I oh god, I hope. You wouldn't be hanging out with Old Hob if you were a human first.
Yeah, that's true.
Because Old Hob ditched the Bebop and Rocksteady because they were humans first. So definitely a pigeon.
Okay. See, I was hoping for some origin story for Pete, like if he was originally human. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. So yeah, they're working this problem. We get a nice long discussion between Bishop and Man Ray, which I think is great, because I haven't really seen a lot. We've seen stuff out of Man Ray, we've seen his action stuff, but we haven't really seen him talk more than a few lines here and there.
That's a character I would love to hear more from. And hey, we're gifted that moment here, but he's really smart and doing the verbal banter between Bishop, and there is a good back and forth.
Yeah. And I love the end part of this, where Bishop says, "It should be the case, I'm afraid. This is about eliminating an existential threat to the human species on this planet. After all, about, survival. So-called ethics tend to be a deterrent to that particular pursuit." And Man Ray's like, "An existential threat? You mean from the harmless mutants you have shackled to the wall?" And he goes on to tell them that he wants, to make his own mutant army. We go to Seymour, and Seymour's not doing so well.
And Lindsay's back there just, you're making it worse. This is not how to help.
Yeah. And Seymour here, because he's not fully his green-faced skull self, you know who he reminds me of? This is so sad. He reminds me of the aliens from Mars Attacks.
Yeah! Oh my gosh.
We actually did an episode a few years ago on the Mars Attacks Transformers issue that IDW did. It was hilarious. But yeah, Lindsay is trying to help them. We have more between Man Ray and Bishop.
Well, the whole thing ends up being a ploy from Man Ray to be distracting everybody through his talking that he's picking the lock with his tail and manages to bust loose and use this crazy mutant stuff, stinger barbs out of his wings, the flappy doos.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. So he breaks free. And all his bishop can say is, stingray barbs, but how? Mutations within mutations. Fascinating. And, yeah, for crying out loud. All Delta Whiskey, this is night. Lab 1 is compromised. We have one hostile loose. Repeat. One hostile loose. And, yeah, a lot of fighting going on here.
We find here this massive Man Ray mutant, huge muscles, large guy, starts beating on Bishop, and Bishop takes him, starts to bend his arm back, cracks him in a spot, kicks him in the stomach, starts to look a little bit like Agent Smith from Matrix here.
Yeah.
Like and this is our first indication that Bishop is probably more than human here in this story. This is the first time we've really gotten that. Look at him, and he mentions that I was born to fight. I fight because this is the right thing to do, Bishop says, and he proceeds to keep wailing on Man Ray, and he says, well, you are a soldier, but not by choice. You're a soldier. I'm a soldier by necessity. And so he starts taking him back. I mean, for Bishop, it's a choice. For Man Ray, his fighting has been because he needed it to survive. And so he does kind of he steps back up and starts taking him down. And it's only by a gun to the back of the head that he spares Bishop. Somebody has got him trapped.
That was Wesley Knight, I believe. So Sally and Mondo get out, and they're like hiding from the guys, and Sally sees a truck, and she's like, come to mama, and Sally's gonna drive us out of here. And she's gonna, she's like, I'm going for a joyride. So Sally steals the APC. You gotta love bulletproof glass. We get back to the Turtles' lair with Old Hob and Raph, and of course they're still arguing and fighting and all that.
It took me, I just realized where they were. They're back at the Mutanimals apartment. They're not in the lair.
Oh.
Yeah, Donnie's investigating what's going on. The TV's smashed. And so they're poking around in there. That's what they're doing. Donnie's looking at the rounds of bullets, trying to track them, figure things out.
And Old Hobbs, telling Leo, well, think faster, because we're running out of time. I mean, that's pretty much his line the entire issue here. Old Hob, we're running out of time. And, what's next? Uh-oh. Some flying thing comes through the window. Everybody get down. Oh, man.
Except for Raph, who takes it out.
Yep. And the Earth Force Defense Command has got them surrounded. Not good.
Here's a sign of Leo kind of being something we've seen him before. So what about it, Leo? It looks like serious Alamo time, bro. What do you say you want to do? He's hesitant and second-guessing himself.
Yep. What?
Well, that's, back to a Leo we're more familiar with. I'm trying to figure out how he got from being I can't lead them because I'm not the father figure to that not being sure of himself again. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I have a feeling he's going to be fine.
Yeah. I mean, for the most, throughout this entire series, the Turtles have had ups and downs and things like that and whatever else. But for the most part, they come out on top for the most part.
Yeah, and even when they come out, I mean, has a lapse in Leo's leadership ever resulted in anything where one of the Turtles got injured? And that wasn't really in the movie, but hey, we'll find out. Something might happen. Dun dun dun.
Absolutely. Issue 68. I love the story arc so far. I think it's progressing well. So we have 4 issues here that make up this arc. Like I said, 67, 68, 69, and 70. This is an interesting, I don't want to necessarily say middle issue, but it kind of is. It's the second issue of the 4 that continues the story, and they've got so much going. I don't think they could have packed anything more into this issue here, because you've got all the Mutanimal stuff with the Earth Defense Force. Then you've got Old Hob and the Turtles. I mean, the only thing Tom, Bobby, and Kevin, and Mateus, and Rhonda, and Sean Lee, and everybody else, the only thing they could have put into this comic that would make it explode out of its own pages was if they threw in the kitchen sink. I mean, there's just so much in this issue. And it's just so good.
Yep.
I remember when we did the Mutanimals series, the 4-issue miniseries, when we got when they had their adventure at Null, way back when, we wanted to see more of them, and we finally are. And that's one thing this series is good at. We'll get various story arcs with various characters. Obviously, the Turtles are going to be the main characters, but, sometimes we'll have Angel and Casey. Sometimes we'll have Angel and Alopex. Sometimes we'll have, the Mutanimals. Sometimes it'll be a story involving Krang. Sometimes it'll be a story involving the Bebop and Rocksteady universe. And sometimes it'll be, well, it can't be Shredder now, but at the time it could have been before he died. And they have such a good balance.
It's incredible. We've said things like, I want to see more from this character. Boom, and then all of a sudden they get a mini-series. I want to see more from the Neutrinos. Well, guess what? Here's Dimension X. They go back, guys. Yep. It's brilliant that they've been able to juggle all of this at all these characters and not really make it feel overwhelming. Like I could imagine somebody being overwhelmed jumping on in issue 63, whatever happened in issue 63. That could be a little crazy. But hey, if you pick up the free comic book day issue and jump on then, you're less than 11 issues away from being totally caught up. So they still manage to balance everything and to do justice to everything.
But that doesn't mean, folks, that you shouldn't go back to the beginning and read it all anyway.
Oh, no, it's too easy with all the hardcovers, trade paperbacks, and Comixology sales. It's way too easy to read everything. And, you think, like, okay, it's 73 issues. There aren't a lot of books, except for the big DC and Marvel titles, that ever see this high a numbering. And I think it's something special to say that it can last that long and that you can encourage somebody to go back and read from the beginning. You can't say that to somebody with Superman because it's been going on forever. Yeah. And anything else that hasn't been going on forever hasn't been going on for long enough to bother going back to the beginning to read it. So Turtles is in a unique spot, I think.
Oh, yeah. And it's like I've always said, this is a love letter to the entire TMNT fandom.
Yep.
They put and they've got Kevin Eastman. I mean, they've got the guy that, one of the guys that created the damn things working on this. And they've got, Bobby doing his thing and Tom doing the scripting. And like I said, all the various artists between Santaluco and Corey Smith. And I would love, I don't know if this is ever going to happen, but I would love, and I'll have to see if it happens in the solicitations. I don't think it will. We'll find out at the end of the podcast. I honestly would love to see a Dan Duncan arc at this point.
I miss Dan Duncan.
Yeah,
his art, I think, has changed a lot. It's grown a lot. It's evolved a lot, and I love those first 12 issues, that raw Dan Duncan style. Yeah. I'm hoping I get to meet him because I think those are still my favorite Turtles. For art for IDW, it's still that first 12 issue arc was exactly what I needed to get me reading a Turtle book again. I don't think if it would have looked different, I don't think I'd have stuck around. I think I'd have, like, finger quotes in the air, grown up and not bothered. But nope, it ends up being great, and it contributed to a giant resurgence in my Turtle geekdom.
Absolutely. So I assume we're giving 68 a 5?
Absolutely.
All right. 5's all around for 68. We're going to take a quick break, come back after this.
Woot.
Hey, Raph! Welcome back, bro! What a hothead. Ow! Ow, 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 ow! Raph, we don't have time for this. And why not? Because we're not alone. Look at the freaks! What's with the dweeby costumes? This ain't Halloween. You're going down, freaks! Nobody messes with the purple dragons, especially wearing stupid turtle costumes. Let's get out of here! I'm with you! Give me some green! Well, that was easier than expected. I hope there are more of those guys. I'm just getting warmed up. Well, looks like you got your wish, Raffy boy.
So we are back here on episode 152 of the Pull Bag, talking the TMNT IDW issues 67 to 70, the Desperate Measures arc. Up next, issue 69 in a row. Oops, sorry. That doesn't really work, does it? Kevin Eastman, Bobby Curnow, Tom Waltz are on creative. Tom Waltz did script. Mateus is on art. Rhonda's on colors, as always. Sean Lee on letters. And we got some guy in the bathroom. We got the professor. He gets a doctor for the Earth Defense, Earth Force Protection, whatever the hell. He's
Fighting?
Yeah, pretty much. Because apparently, everybody's on alert, yada, yada, yada. And, yeah, he's most definitely hiding because he even looks out, that's about right. I don't remember, the height of that stall where he says, huh? And he's looking out under the thing, he's on the floor. I'm like, yeah, that's about right, because I don't remember ever being... I think maybe when I was 5, I was able to sneak out from under a bathroom stall, but...
Well, see, this one's professionally made, and they make fun of us here in the United States about our crappy bathroom stalls. Mateus, he doesn't live in the U.S., so that's what he thinks bathroom stalls look like. They don't look like that. There's like 1.5 feet down there. If you crouched, you could see up to people's knees, and then there's the inch gap between the door and the latch. So,
yep, that's okay.
Nah.
And, it is what it is. Yo, Gulp. What up, Doc? Oh, Mondo has a Bugs Bunny line. Oh, God, love that Mondo. Mutant magic.
Never mind that he's completely naked.
Yeah,
that's that's the fun part about him. I think is that for him to use his chameleon power properly, he does need to strip down to nothing, and it kind of the Mystery Men with the oh gosh, I can't remember the name of the kid, but he had, when I'm completely naked and nobody's looking, I can turn invisible. How do you know you're invisible? I just know.
Reminds me of, and everyone hates this movie, I know, fine, whatever. Reminds me of Jessica Alba in the first Fantastic Four film.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
She had to strip down to her nakedness to become invisible. Once she became invisible, it was fine. But once she became visible again, there was a problem. So, mutant magic and mutant muscle. Ouchie. Hate to invade your personal space like this, Doc, but you bogus dudes started it. I love Mondo. Mondo and Mike. Okay, just like I've said for God knows how long, Raph and Alopex need their own romance series. Mondo and Mikey need their own buddy cop series.
Yeah, those two haven't gotten a chance to really partner up like they do in most of the other iterations of their existence.
Yep.
They were partnered up in the animated series, and I don't remember him at all from the 89 series, like not one bit, except the toy. I remember the toy, of course, but
he was there because I had to go back and remember what he sounded like in that when they announced that Robbie Rist was going to do his voice in the 2012 series. I'm like, I know Mondo was in the 87 series, but I don't remember what he sounded like at all. I just figured it was another one of the, the classic actors that were in there. He's in one of the later, I think it's like season 5 or season 4. He's somewhere after the original run kind of thing goes.
I wonder if he showed up in that series before, in the Archie series, before or after the cartoon. That's kind of interesting. I have a feeling I came to the cartoon later than a lot of people, 90, 91, 92. Because there were a lot of the toys that were out that I shouldn't have been able to have yet. So it's kind of like I can't figure out the dates.
Yeah, the series started in 87. The toys kind of started coming out 88. They were in full force in 89.
Yeah, I didn't come to the Turtles until I moved to Grand Rapids. I mean, somebody had a Michelangelo action figure I played with, but 1990 and 91, I think, were my first really getting into it.
Yep. So Mondo's hacking the Earth Protection Force servers, and we then go to the old folks' home where Bishop's dad is, and Bishop's dad is suffering from Alzheimer's, maybe? I don't know. They don't specifically say, but
dementia of some variety.
Some variety, yeah.
He's through the conversation they have, it seems that Bishop's dad kind of started the motion between the Earth Defense Force, and that Bishop's been the one who's completed the task for him. And so Bishop's kind of plugging him for information, letting him know, hey, Dad, we're almost done. We've almost completed your thing, which is interesting because we get Bishop, softer side of Bishop here. But they talk about, I don't know where they went with this, but talks about Eisenhower and Area 51 and how he wanted to get in there but couldn't, and said, you're either going to tell me what's going on there and march the military in there, and how Area 51 said, okay, and once he got in there, he said, no, never mind, we're out. And so Bishop's dad relates this story to him, and it has something to do with mutants and militarizing things that they shouldn't have any business militarizing.
Well, yeah, because that's the whole point of this arc, is that's what Bishop is going to end up doing. I mean, that's what he's already done with Slash, and he wants to do it with the rest of them. Bishop's angle here is not like Hobbs, it's not like Shredder's, it's not like Krang's. You know, Hobb wants to get rid of the humans because he hates humans, but Bishop here wants it for almost a Iron Man type of move, maybe, you know.
Yeah, because he doesn't exactly want to get rid of them. He wants to militarize them, I guess.
Yeah.
There's more to Bishop that we have not yet discovered, I'm sure. There's more to him. And we'll find out someday. We'll find out some today. But we'll find out more later, I'm sure.
Oh, absolutely. So we go back to where the turtles are hiding, and the Earth Protection Force is outside waiting to basically attack them. And I love Mikey, because those soldier dudes are getting antsy. They're jamming us too. I can't get a signal. And Leo's like, and down, Mikey, you're gonna get yourself shot. Sorry, big bro. Jeez, just trying to help. Hobbs got a super giant looking gun.
That he pulls out from floorboards, because we're back at the Mutanimals' old apartment. So I keep, whenever this environment shows up, I think it's April's apartment or Donnie's apartment, somebody's apartment, Casey's apartment, that is. But no, this is where the Mutanimals live, and that's why old Hobbs opening up a floorboard and pulling out a giant gun, because he knows the Ninja Turtles are with him. He picked out the stun gun and not the one that shoots explosives or something.
Yeah. And again, we've been doing this for years, folks. So if I don't remember, I don't think we've ever had an old house yet. Like
what do you mean?
An old house in this series. Like we have the old church for a hideout for the turtles and stuff, but I don't think we ever had like an old rundown house.
Apartment either, you mean, or
no house?
Well, because in New York there's no houses. There's no houses in New York. They're all What this looks like to me is April's apartment in the
movie,
the first CG movie.
Okay,
it looks like that.
The reason why I say house is because they're, when they did Baxter in the cartoon series, in the original cartoon series, where Shredder said, you have to go to a bigger place, and the Technodrome was right under that house. Because it was a full-scale house. That's old Hob and the Turtles are about to create a distraction, and Leo even agrees. Hobbs got the right idea. He does? I do? Yeah, mostly.
Yeah, there's some interesting growth going on with Leo here that I quite enjoy. He's obviously not in charge, because we've got old Hob kind of putting thoughts into his head, but he's getting his own ideas in there, and he's agreeing with and disagreeing with and giving and taking. So there's a lot of that going on, and that leads somewhere. But I was noticing it, that he's actually on the side of some of these old Hobbian decisions. Old Hobbian decisions, that's funny. Like, let the chaos reign here, and he leans out the window. But
first, the chaos part, yep. What the hell?
Yeah, this is one of the guns that they stole from the Null in the Mutanimals arc, and it just blasts this lightning out that stuns everybody. I think he comments earlier that it won't kill them, but it'll sure make them regret the next couple of hours, and then so it's doing its job.
Yep. And the turtles are trying to climb down the side of the building here, but of course they get ambushed by the Earth Protection Force. Hey, look, I finally remembered the name of the damn thing.
Hey!
Trank, look out. And Donnie and his... I know they want to keep Donnie streamlined along with the rest of the turtles. His shell here, even though I know it's the new shell, it's the metal shell, it's the indestructible, it's whatever the hell that it is after issue 50 and all that. I just wish it looked a little bit more metallic. It doesn't have to be gray. It doesn't have to be silver. It like metallic green. Like it just looks like a normal turtle shell. Now maybe that's what Mateus and everybody else wanted to do, so people don't know that it's a metallic shell, because maybe if they knew, they would use a magnet on him or something. I don't know. I'm just saying that I wish for us, the readers, it would look a little bit more metallic-like. So Donnie gets all the trank darts except for one, and Raph gets knocked out. So Raph's kind of done for this issue. He's gonna be in and out, and everybody's gonna have to carry him at one point or another. Having Raph be the comedy relief of this.
I didn't notice that he was getting carried everywhere after this. I saw the great, come on, Raph, shake it, we got to move, sheesh, Donnie.
Yep.
I didn't really. Yeah, I guess he's leaning on Don the rest of that, and he looks a little drunk.
Well, you would too if you got tranked with the
trank darts that took Slash down earlier.
Yeah, really. Let's see here. Where is it? So Hob throws his null grenade, and that kind of takes care of everybody and all of that. So as they're walking along, Donnie is helping Raph. And Slash comes in, because reinforcements. Oh, boy.
Good old big Bishop Slash.
Yeah. And I do love Mikey's consistent persistence on trying to get Slash to come around, even though everybody else knows it's not. Slash is not controlling his own actions. It's Bishop doing it. I like that Mikey still has his...
he's gonna try to give it a go.
Yeah, he still has his compassion about him. He still has, he's worried for his friend. And Sally shows up. Come with me if you want to live.
I've always wanted to say that. As I was reading this issue, for her lines, I started to hear Zelda Williams' voice. She was voicing Venus in the animated series right now. Like, no, this is totally her. This totally needs to be her if they ever animate her. But they probably won't.
That's Robin's daughter, isn't it?
Yeah,
wow.
Yeah. Somebody was after her to voice Zelda in the Breath of the Wild game as a little bit of a tribute, since Robin Williams was a big fan. And that would have been cool, but...
Yeah, that would have been very, very cool.
Now I will follow her career.
Absolutely. Oh, it's a Lou Reed song. Ride, Sally, ride. Oh, that's going in here somewhere.
Oh, yeah, yeah, man. I remember that.
Oh, Lord. I just love when they do stuff like that. When, because, you look at the panel where, it's right after she says, come with me if you want to live. Hobbs says, go, Sally, go. And then Raph chimes in, ride, Sally, ride. Well, go, Sally, go, I'm pretty sure is probably somewhere in some song lyric, but what it reminds me of, and again, I'm sure everyone hates the movie I'm going to mention, because everyone hates the lead actor in the movie, reminds me of Gone in 60 Seconds with Nicolas Cage, when he finally got Eleanor that Shelby Mustang that he always wanted to get at the end of the movie. And when it's the scene where he's trying to outrun the A-Star helicopter. And he flips all these switches and he hits this button that says, "Go, baby, go." That's the first thing that "Go, Sally, go" that reminds me of. Now I gotta find Ride, Sally, Ride on Spotify after we do this. So they get away, and both Bishop and Slash are like, "No, faster, Sally, they ain't gonna quit." So we get basically a chase scene between Sally, the cops, and the Earth Protection Force. So Sally has a crazy idea. All right, everyone, hold on tight to something and hold your breath. She jumps the bridge. "This is your plan? I've had better." And they end up in the water. Well,
this is back in the turtle's lair.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I realized here, as they surface and get mad at each other for not exactly having a plan, but hey, bro, it worked out. And Gecko and Pepperoni are walking down the stairs. The railing is still bent up from when Slash showed up there years ago.
Oh, yeah.
That's like years of continuity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you think that's Bobby? Like, "Hey, Mateus, we got that page, but do you remember that one time that he smashed the railing? Yeah, you got to go redraw that panel." It's like, who did that? Whose idea?
We will find out next time we talk to Bobby. That was interesting. That's as far as I drag this musclehead. No more. So Donnie's done dragging Raph around, and yeah, you're right. Mondo comes in with the bent up railing and all that, and we get this whole thing on the news and all of that, and Donnie is trying to figure out, from the information that Mondo got, if they can use anything, and they really can't use anything. And Donnie says, "Sorry, Mondo, it was a great try, but I think you hacked the EPF Human Resources server. Bummer." "So what now? We lost them this time, but, they're gonna keep looking for us." "Yeah, they will. And if they don't find us, we can't forget about Slash and the other mutanimals they still have." So the Turtles are kind of at a crossroads. Raph chimes in and says, "So what's the problem? We're ninjas, right? And Sally and Mondo know where the EPF are keeping the mutanimals. Let's just bust into the place and sneak them out of there. Works for me. Ditto." And, both Donnie and Leo, the logical ones of the group right now, and, they're just...
Donnie's concerned that they're completely out-teched, but...
Yeah.
What's he says?
He says, Donnie says, "Aren't you three paying attention? We're out-teched by these guys. Blasting in is not a smart option right now." And Leo says, "Especially considering they're bound to be on maximum alert after everything that's happened."
So they're arguing about what they're going to do and how they need to do their next move and how it's not possible to do this and they can't do that and they can't do that. And Raph says, "Well, it looks like we got all the crap we can't do down pat. Maybe it's time we start figuring out the stuff we can do before it's too late." And that's when Mikey notices that old Hob, during this whole debate, went missing.
Yep. And Hob breaks into the old folks' home.
That... It took me until that moment to realize why this arc was called Desperate Measures.
Mm-hmm.
That's a low blow there, Hob.
The monsters found me, and that's how 69 ends, and damn, I'm loving this.
You ever watch, oh, shoot. The Blue Meth. Breaking Bad. You ever watch Breaking Bad?
Yes.
This is like... El Pollo, Pollos Hermanos guy goes to the old folks home.
Oh, yeah.
That's
He's like Hector, yeah.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yeah, I have 5 podcast episodes where I reviewed each season of Breaking Bad with my buddy Ryan. So yeah, I've seen Breaking Bad, and yeah, I don't want to do a lot of meth at all. I don't even want to do any math either. That's a bad Phineas and Ferb joke, folks, from another podcast. Okay, well, I'll since we're in between issues here, and we'll get ratings on 69 here in a minute, and we'll probably just do ratings overall for the arc since we're almost in the last issue. There's a scene in Phineas and Ferb. There's an episode called the Baljeetals, where Baljeet ends up attending this summer camp. It's called Summer Rocks, thinking it was a geology course, but it's actually a music thing. It's a musical concert series type thing, and all he knows how to do is play an A chord because he just wants to get an A. And Phineas is like, well, you know, how do you feel about it? I don't feel anything. I just, you know, I do a lot of math. You know, the feelings come and go, but I do a lot of math. So my buddy Michael Wilson and I keep saying that Baljeet's doing a lot of meth. Because I think we're just going to rate the overall arc at the end of this. But, yeah, the issue 69 was a great penultimate issue leading up to what is going to be the conclusion to the arc here in issue 70. Absolutely love it. I love that everyone's trying to come up with a plan. I love that we've already seen Splinter in the first, you know, kind of 2 issues already. We don't really need to see what's going on. Because really, this is not a Foot Clan story. This is a Bishop. This is a Earth Protection Force / Mutanimals and Turtles story. It was nice in 68 when Leo had to go to Splinter to get advice from him, but I think after having that advice that Leo, you know, like you said, he's not the leader, he's not the overall father figure, he never will be, but in the interim, he's always, you've said this plenty of times, he's always been, out of the 4 of them, he's always been the one to lead them into whatever it is.
And he's always the one who wants the plan, whether or not he ever gets it. He wants the plan, which is, I think that's what's been going on in the past 2 issues, right? This one that we're about to read and the last one, he's constantly like, what's the plan? We need to make a plan, guys. And he doesn't exactly get one until later in this issue. But as we begin issue 70 with story, art, script, and colors by all of our favorite people. Old Hobbs somehow got a hold of him and told them to meet me here, guys. And so the Turtles and Sally and Mondo are looking over this hedge down at an empty truck. It's an old stock gen facility, old abandoned, destroyed place. And Hobb told them to wait. Wait for what, guys? I don't know. Leo wants a plan. He doesn't have one. But the EDF people show up. So apparently, Old Hobb is called the Turtles and called them to come here. And they're setting them up. They're watching. Don sees a sniper in the helicopter that's flying overhead. And okay, don't know what new mess Old Hobbs gotten us into, but I think we need a plan. And then they cut away from that scene. Like, Leo's ready. He's like, this is it. This is my time. I can see a plan here.
Yep. Yeah, everybody's kind of coming together here. We got the helicopter scene, like you said, and we need a plan. And Hobbs' plan is pretty much just go in blazing. Well, actually, he's not.
Well, this is the sinister thing here that he's playing here. He's
yeah, that's right.
There is an artful stroke that comes here. Old Hobb shouts out at the EDF guys. They're still in their truck. But Hobb comes out, and he's got the Blackwater guy's wife. And where they set this up, the wife is who he was talking to and calling in the very first episode. He was on the phone with somebody, and it was all very real and sentimental, and what are you bringing home for dinner, that kind of stuff. Even though he was a hard, one-dimensional villain otherwise, you know what I mean? That gave him the dimension. But this is his wife that he was talking to. And than Bishop's dad. So he's got both the military guys and the EDF covered with these two hostages that he's taken. He wheels them out with a gun.
Yeah. And he says, the damn thing's got his wife. Okay, ladies, since the old coot here is not much for talking, you're going to have to tell your goon of an Albie exactly what I told you in the van. Got it? Now relax. It's just your life that's at stake. Damn freak of nature. Get your filthy paws off my wife. You damn dirty cat. and he calls him Gomer Pyle. Oh, God. So there's two references there. He's like, easy now, Gomer Pyle. Don't forget, these filthy paws got nasty claws. So the Gomer Pyle can either reference the Andy Griffith character, or it can reference the... Vincent D'Onofrio character from Full Metal Jacket.
Mm-hmm.
Daredevil Season 3 needs to hurry up.
Ah, yes. Oh, God, it wasn't fish. Marvel's best villain ever.
Yep. So we got the sniper in place that has a shot on Hobb, and they're waiting. The husband says, "Good, stand by for my command to fire!" And Leo and Sally dive in, and
here's the implementation of Leo's plan. That's just master strokes.
Because I'm guessing either Donnie or Leo went to Herald, because that's Herald tech.
They've had that. April used that a long time ago. Okay. That's the anti-gravity gun.
Yeah, see, I thought... we've seen in this arc, and even before this, even in issues 65 and 66, that Turtles and Herald are not getting... So maybe... That's why I thought maybe they went back off-panel to, ask him for more help. I love the... There, the hillside, 2 tangos. Remember, no killing. Trank 'em. Trank 'em? More like flank 'em.
And spank 'em.
And spank 'em, yeah. Flank 'em and spank 'em. Oh, God, this is funny. Come on, Private. We need to get that array fired up. I'm typing as fast as I can, Corporal. I mean... Don't these tech guys in these mercenary... shouldn't they at least be able to type 80 words per minute or more? I mean, come on. And of course, just off panel, Mondo, not fast enough, dude. Surprise! I love Mondo in this series. Yo, Sally, wanna drive? You know it. Oh, I love it. I just absolutely love it. And it's like, Leo's like, you both know what to do next, right? Yeah, hack and attack. It's like they have this weird rhyming thing in this issue. Absolutely love it. Holy crap, we're winning. I know, can you believe it? Leo's plan totally worked. This might be my favorite turtle shot. It's where the old man says, monsters and monsters and monsters. Okay, Hobb. And it goes to the panel of the 4 of them. We're here. It's like, oh my God.
I would go to the website where these pages are for sale to buy that page, except I know that with a hero shot of 4 turtles, it's probably a $1,000 page. I don't think I need to do that.
No, you don't need to do that. No.
Not gonna try.
Nope. But you just look at this, and we've said this before. And I've said this in other shows, in other versions of the Turtles. This is the way they all should look, as far as each of them have a different turtle body type.
Mm-hmm.
Like Leo and Raph are the muscle. Raph has more muscle than Leo. Mikey has a bit of muscle, but he looks more friendly. And Donnie just looks like he's, he kind of looks like he's obtuse.
He's lanky. He's a taller guy.
Yeah.
And I wonder where that motif, where that got dictated, or what happened between IDW and Nickelodeon, because the first time we saw tall skinny Don, short round Mike, average Leo, and bulked up Raph was, I think, in the Nickelodeon series. That it makes sense if you were going to do it a certain way, this is what it would need to be. So it'll be interesting if anybody to watch as to whether anybody plays with that dynamic, the physical dynamic again. And makes it different, or if this is what we're gonna have for a while. I like this.
Yeah, I like this a lot, and I think the only reason why Raph looks short in this 4-turtle page here is because he's kind of half crouched. His left knee is bent.
He's doing the Wolverine squat.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So that's not Raph's full height, but it shows you clearly how different they all are, and it's just so cool. I just absolutely love that. And, so the guy's like, all right, mutants, I'm listening, and we have a discussion between them and him, and Hob is still threatening his wife until, he gets what he wants, and Slash comes in, or Bish Slash.
Because meanwhile, this dude's got his hand around the lady's throat, this dude's wife's throat, and so he's willing to talk and figure it out and put his gun down, but Bishop does not care and says the EDF does not negotiate, which implies, as I flipped to this page and saw this, I'm thinking, okay, he's just going to go in there and kill everybody, indiscriminately wipe everybody out, because he kind of wins either way. So he's coming over there and he's giving the villain speech at this point. He's telling them what's what. Flips the truck that Sally and Mondo are in.
Kind of reminds me of a stunt they pulled in WWE recently.
Mm-hmm.
Over the last couple of months, they've had Roman Reigns versus Braun Strowman. And Braun Strowman is the newest monster-type wrestler on WWE. And, they call him the monster among men. Well, they did this stunt where Roman was in an ambulance, and Braun basically picks it up and tips it over on its side. That's exactly what this battle here with Slash and Sally and Mondo reminds me of.
Like the dude actually flipped an ambulance?
Not.
Or was there trickery?
There was trickery, but
okay.
the way it looks like on TV, it looks like he actually flipped it, but you can hear the hydraulics in the background.
Okay.
So we get Bishop saying, and that's the risky thing about biological weapons. It's not the imperfect biology. It's here's this near invincible beast able to withstand an entire building falling upon its head, brought to its knees in battle by watery eyes and a snot-filled nose. The dichotomy boggles the mind, and goes on and on and on, and talks about that, and Hobbs like, listen to him. Can't you hear how stinking paranoid he is? I don't know what half of the words he's saying mean, and even I can hear it. How do you think I found your woman, huh? Guy keeps lists with all your private info. He don't even trust you, Knight. And, he kind of talks Knight into all of this, and once again, Bish Slash says the EPF does not negotiate with mutants. Maybe not, but Darkwater does. And Sergeant Winter, sir? This op is Terminator. Do you copy? 5x5, Colonel.
Pulls a gun, puts it to the back of Bishop's physical head over there in the truck, hooked up with the mind control goggles.
We're mercenaries, sir. Wars are a dime a dozen, but family, that's rare. So again, they go back to the whole family dichotomy thing, which is awesome. We've said this, for years now. The entire infrastructure of this TMNT series is family. That's really what it's all about. And at the end, we see the Dark Water guy with his wife. We see all the mutanimals released, Old Hob, the turtles, all that stuff, and poor Seymour. He's not looking so good.
No, they have him in a basically just a little jar, head in a jar, like Nixon in that one show that I haven't watched.
Yeah.
Oh God, what the frick? Mike, help me. What's the name of the show I'm thinking? Fry and the robot.
And it's Futurama.
Thank you.
You said Fry. I'm like, okay.
I can't. Yeah. That's a show that I know I should watch and like, but I just can't get into it. Like Doctor Who, I can't get into Doctor Who, but I know it's awesome. I can't get into Futurama, but I know it's awesome.
You're the second person now that I know that is like me that just can't get into Doctor Who. I tried and I just couldn't.
I keep trying every once in a while.
It's too British for me.
I like a lot of British things. Like I like the Sherlock show, and I like Broadchurch, and I like we're watching The Night Manager right now. Very British shows, but the Doctor Who is just, it's hard for me. And I tried watching it where the effects started to get good. Not that was a barrier before, but by that point the continuity is so hard, and the characters there's so many of them that I don't know anymore. It's like, oh well, I'll have somebody walk me through it someday.
So Herman has a robotic claw.
That got ripped off. Did Bish Slash rip that off? I can't remember how that got removed.
Yeah, that was when Slash went on the rampage. Yeah. Yep. Hi, I'm Pete.
Can we go home now?
Can we go home now? Looks like they're just waiting on me. Here. And he's all yours. Cheers.
So Man Ray has the gun pointed at Bishop. Looks like Christmas and my birthday party all at once.
Mm-hmm. And
perhaps, but you forgot about one invitee, Dr. Shelvin?
Yep.
Oh, he's up there controlling Slash. Or letting him loose. He doesn't have goggles on. This is the same doctor that was hiding under the stall in the first book.
Yep. And Slash picks up the overturned APC and throws it at them. Thank you, Doctor. I have the con once again. Uh-oh. The big guy. That ain't the big guy, kid. And they're in for it. I mean, Bish Slash just goes all out and just, the beating that they were taking. Oh, my God. And then Hob, puts a gun to his dad's head. So,
cold blood.
Yeah, how the tides have turned, haven't they? Protecting humanity from an existential threat. And it turns out, no matter the cost, Bishop is mechanical.
Yeah,
he's Terminator-ish.
Yeah, so Bishop takes Slash, jumps, leaps to crush old Hob and the dad. Hob gets free, but kills the dad, and kind of in a rage, old Hob takes a vicious swipe at Bishop, and he rips flesh off, and there's robot underneath. It's robot. I still think there's even more to Bishop than that, but that's why he was so tough with Man Ray back at that. At that event, he was bruised in the dock. They noted that, and when he was at the old folks' home, looks like he took a beating. One of the doctors said. But now that we know he's a robot, Leonardo steps in with some snickety-snicked action.
Yep, to take care of the ones he loves, and he's standing over Bishop, and then the police come. And it's time for them to go. So, they all agree Leo's right. Let's take... so they split up. Mutanimal's in the truck. Turtles, you take Hobbs' van. And they, take Slash with them. And it's just... such a sad thing right now. Just having to get Slash back and, oh, God.
Yeah,
so much emotion.
It's unclear to me what happens with Slash. Like, they abandon him there? He can't hear you, Boss Cat. The Slash Man's not here, not really, and we can't wait for him either because the Fuzz is almost here. Or the Fuzz almost is, but we'll get him back, dude. He's family. Right now we got a Vamoose. And, like, in that next panel, you don't see him there and you don't see him on the next page.
Yeah. Yeah,
So I don't know, did they leave him there?
I guess. I don't know. I'm not sure.
That's okay, we'll find out. They'll tell us.
They'll tell us eventually. So they name it Clan Hamato and kind of sort of have a happy ending here a little bit. I wouldn't, this is where this is where Raph says, yeah, but I'm not calling you Master. That ain't going to happen ever. And Leo's like, and I wouldn't want it to. We're teammates and brothers first, always. Speaking of, we're going to need some new tech from you soon, Don. There's no way Bishop lets this go without a fight. I think maybe I'll start with this van. As long, Bobby, Tom, Kevin, as long as y'all call it the Turtle Van and not the stupid party wagon, I'll be happy.
Well, it was the same thing. That was the Shell Raiser that was like, hey, wait, no, shenanigans.
Well, the Shell Raiser I'm fine with because it was a different series, but if you look at the old 87 stuff, it was called the Turtle Van in the cartoon, but later in incarnations of the toy, it was marketed as the Party Wagon.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
It can have two names.
No, it can't.
It was always the Party Wagon. That sounds like what I used to call it. I remember that text.
Because that's what it was called for a long time. But I remember it as the Turtle Van, and that was from the cartoon series. So, yeah.
Oh, and then April's dad called it the Party Wagon because it was his hippie van from the old days.
Yep.
I remember that in the Northampton run.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Damn. See? Just please, guys, don't call it the Party Wagon. Please. Just don't.
Call it the Party Wagon to spite him.
Okay, now I need to find a new co-host for this crap.
I eat pineapple on pizza, and I think it's called the Party Wagon. Well, I wonder what the new toy is called. There's a Lego, not a Lego, fake Lego, crap Lego, Mega Bloks Party Wagon that I want, but let my son put it together. I wonder what they call it. Pardon my loud keyboard, folks, but I would like to report this back to you. Party Wagon. Oh, yep, it's the Party Wagon. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Sorry, Mike.
So just because, just because the toy is called that doesn't mean they have to, make that what it's called in the comic. I mean, if you want to be correct,
it's like everybody who calls Usagi Yojimbo like that's his name, Usagi Yojimbo. No, that's not his name. That's his title. His name is Miyamoto Usagi. Mm-hmm. That drives me nuts. But everybody calls him Usagi Yojimbo, and I just need to get over it.
So yeah, folks, that's going to do it for us. The Desperate Measures arc, issues 67 to 70, and this super giant episode 152 of the Pull Bag. Issue 70 was awesome.
Yep.
It was a great to be continued type of ending. I can't wait to see what happens with 71 and all of that. Because that's, I think, 71 to 74 or 71 to 75 or whatever it is. I think that's going to be the Pantheon arc from the covers that I've seen.
Yep.
We also have this month, last month we had the Dimension X arc, the 5-issue Dimension X series, Turtles Dimension X, so there's that. But overall, Desperate Measures, 4.5 for the whole thing, I think.
It's always hard for me to those fives. I mean, I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I don't think I can give anything a 4.5 without for thoroughly enjoying it. So I will give it a 5.
Okay, all right.
And I think it picks. I think it maybe not having reviewed 70 before reading the rest of them. 68 or 67, 66. Those were 4.5. With 70, it turns it into that 5 because you have the revelation of why it's called Desperate Measures, and Old Hob does the drastic thing, and then he solves the problem with words. I mean, he solves it with the Blackwater guy using words, and everything's over until Bishop screws it up and makes it all violent again. So I that fun, Leonardo taking charge, all of that makes it a very, very, very good issue.
Absolutely.
And a good arc.
Yep. Absolutely. So join us next time, folks, as we dive into TMNT Universe. In episode 153, we're going to talk about the first 5 issues of that, because that's the way the story arc for that goes. According to the trades, it's 1 to 5 for the first trade, and then 6 to 10 for the second one. So we're going to be diving into the second TMNT ongoing next time around. Anything you want to talk about or pimp out before we close it out?
Building a relationship with the Geek Group in Grand Rapids. They're a makerspace, and chances are they might be putting us up for a Geek sale closer to Christmas. We don't have an official date yet, but that's a cool event and a cool place, so look them up on Facebook, the Geek Group. That's a fun place. Check it out.
Absolutely. You can find me on Twitter at TFG1Mike. You can find the Pullbag on Twitter at the Pullbag. Also check us out on Facebook, Geek-Cast Radio Network, all that other stuff. Go to the website, geekcastradio.com. Comment on this and all our other episode posts. Leave the show's feedback in iTunes. Please do this. As I already said, we're going to be talking about TMNT Universe next time. So various writers, various artists, all that stuff. It's going to be a pantheon of fun, even though the pantheon is not that fun. Damn world destroyers. So make your great escape into comics, and we will catch you next time here inside the Pullbags Sewer Surfin' September.
Woot!
You've just heard the latest episode of The Pullbag, the GCRN's comic review and discussion podcast. There are several ways to get in touch with us and leave feedback for the show. You can visit the website, geekcastradio.com, where you can comment on the episode and all of our different podcasts. You can rate our show on iTunes. Be sure to leave us feedback. Call the voicemail line, 502-526-5821. Please remember to tell us the show you were leaving the message for and your name. Become a fan of us on Facebook by searching Geek-Cast Radio Network. Send us an email feedback at geekcastradio.com. Follow us on Twitter at Geek-Cast Radio. So until next time, make your great escape into comics and unleash the geek in you.